All right, well, welcome everyone. This is our Tuesday night training call. And I was just saying earlier that I've been watching a lot of videos trying to learn how to post on Facebook better, try to get better engagement and see what the new algorithms look like. And I've learned a lot. I haven't really implemented much of what I'm going to talk about tonight, but we can all implement what appeals to us and do it and see how it works out, and then we can report back and see if any of this stuff worked. Like I said, I plan to implement as much of this stuff as I can. So I'm just going to kind of go through my notes. This is notes from like about 4 or 5 videos. And they weren't Plexus specific videos. They're like more generic, how to post on Facebook and stuff. So basically, I learned that the intent of Facebook is not to buy. The intent of Facebook is to engage, and so the Facebook algorithms are for engagement. So what they're going to do is they're going to reward engagement, and they're also Facebook is trying to promote certain things, and they really are promoting the stories. So some of the things in the live videos and those kind of things, it's given better engagement. And what one of these videos said, which was a good analogy, is they said there's so much posting going on that Facebook doesn't know what to put on people's newsfeed. There's just too much. It's like 7 lanes of traffic and you're trying to narrow it down to like 1 lane. So they're using these algorithms to just post stuff that looks popular, that looks like a lot of people are interested in. So that's why the engagement is so important. So, and what engagement boils down to is the liking, the sharing, and the commenting. And of those 3, the comments are the most important. And so it actually goes through, and a post will get a score, and that score will determine how many of your friends see it. So if you have a higher score, then it'll show on more people's newsfeed. And what they say is, there was a really interesting thing about the score is they're looking for the 3 E's. The 3 E's are engage, educate, and entertain. So if you can do one of those things, you're doing good. If you can engage, some people to comment and like, or educate or entertain. But if you can do all 3, then it's almost like a unicorn, they said. And occasionally there will be a unicorn, and you shouldn't expect to ever have this happen, because when it happens, it doesn't happen on purpose. But the example they gave was that Chewbacca mom. Did y'all ever see that video of the mom wearing the Chewbacca mask, and then she would like laugh like Chewbacca, and it got millions of views or whatever? They're saying that's the kind of thing that is just a miracle when it happens. You can't really make that happen, but it got millions of shares and likes and comments and everything. So they say that the people on Facebook, like they're not intending, they're not going, oh, I'm going to go to Facebook to buy. They're going to Facebook to be entertained. So what we have to do is to build trust. Let's see. We need to provide value to earn their trust, and then we'll get an audience, and then that audience will naturally want to do what we do. That's kind of the bigger goal. So trust is the biggest thing, especially with with Plexus. We want to provide value and earn their trust. And so let me see. They said the posts that get the most engagement, 25% of posts that get the most engagement are inspiring and educational. So, and then 17% are funny, and 15% are entertaining. So he said, before you post anything, start tomorrow. Before you post anything, ask yourself these questions. Does it make me smile? Does it add value to my friends? You know, that would be like the ones where we're like educating about gut health or something. It's kind of what I was thinking. And does it make me want to interact with the post? So say that's why those jokes are so funny, you know, or the ones where it's like, what's your favorite this or your favorite that? Those work real well because those invite you to engage and to participate. It says, be authentic, be yourself, show your human side. So but don't be, you know, negative and whiny and all that, but definitely show your human side. You know, if you're struggling with something, you know, share it. If you've got, you know, you're trying to figure something out, ask for help. That's what people really want to see. Then they go into some really complicated things that are really specific, which I liked. That little things, I didn't even know this, that Facebook is looking for. That, like, if we say plexus, they're looking for words like plexus, paparazzi, things like that. So that's why, and when they see those, they don't put them on as many people's newsfeed. So this is very specific for something for us to do. That's why we're starting to see more of these posts that say, I love my supplements, right? Instead of, I love my plexus. Now, this is just in the post. The comments, it's okay to have, you know, the word plexus in it. But in the post, I'm going to start like not putting plexus in the post and see what happens, see if I get more engagement. And then on the pictures, it's okay to have the word plexus on it or whatever, because the algorithm can read what's on the, you know, the post, you know, the programming of it. I understand the programming of it. It's actually searching for certain words, and when it finds it, then it does certain things. That's what the algorithms are. So we need to avoid putting the word plexus in the actual post. There's some other stuff too we got to avoid putting in the post. So you might want to write this down. The call to action, things like they say that it's looking for those things and to avoid putting those in there. Let me find my exact notes here. Yeah, this was really cool. If you have in there comment below, things where you're trying to, they call them CTAs and CTCs, call to actions or call to comments. Facebook's picking those up, and the score is lower. So we don't want to do that in the post. We don't want to say, if you're interested. We don't want to say comment below. They don't. It doesn't like when you're fishing for comments, is what they said. So we don't want to say, you know, links in comments, comment below. And they were saying it doesn't really matter, because if they're interested, they will comment below. You know, so they're really not really necessary phrases, but they'll actually hurt our post being seen if we have them. So we need to strip those kind of things out, like, if you're interested, let me know, or message me if you're interested, stuff like that in the actual post. Now in the comments and stuff, we can put those things if we need to. One thing they said that you can do is you can get this. They were like, this is a pro tip. If there's something you really wanted to put, comment below or something, and you could put, like, for the O, put like a sun emoji or something. Do you know what I mean? Or, and I was thinking we could even, if we really wanted to put plexus in there, maybe we could try to stick an emoji in the word plexus, you know. But they're literally looking for these things, and it lowers your score. So let's see. Oh, and we've known this for a while, but I still see posts like this sometimes, is no links at all in the text of the post. Don't put any links in it. Put it in the comments, because Facebook wants to keep you inside Facebook. And so if it sees something with a link that's going to take you out of Facebook, they won't put it on as many people's Facebook wall. So we, be sure and make sure all the links are in the comments. We don't want to try to say, comment below, things like that. Let's see, what else? Oh, so those are some things not to do. Now, they asked the question, how often should I post? This is a big one. This is a big change from what we've been doing. And they said only like 1 or 2 a day, and separate them by 6 to 8 hours apart. Because, like I said, it's like a super highway. They're trying to just send the post down a dirt road. So they said they'll literally, Facebook sometimes will get so backlogged that they won't even post the post as, like, when you post it. So basically, just 1 or 2, like I would say 2 a day of like Plexus posts, about 6 to 8 hours apart. And they said make those like really good quality posts, especially good ones like with your face in it. If your face is in the post, or it's a testimony about you or something like that, if you go back through your posts that you've been doing and you look, I did this, and the ones that have my face in it have, probably 100 times more likes than the ones without it, or like, my family, not just me, but, like of the kids or your grandkids or, those posts get the way more than if it's a picture of a bag of Slim, or something like that. So 1 or 2 really good posts is better than like 10 that are really, salesy. Now, this is something they said, to keep your wall with really good quality posts, like the really good ones, and then the stuff that's not as quality, that is salesy or whatever, to put those in stories. And the stories are only up for 24 hours. So, like if you, and people will flip through the stories. Now, what the stories is considered is called micro content, and that's kind of the wave of the future. Is short, like information, like the color background with just the words. That's like micro content. No links to anything, just just like just a couple of sentences with the background or the story. You could do one of like the posts like we do all the time, and then just post it to the stories, and then you can dress it up if you're fancy with stories, but if you're not, it'll do a little story with it where you can see the text and the picture. But the thing with this story is it only lasts for 24 hours. So, and then they said always use the 80-20 rule. And I was thinking that I'm going to do more of a 75-25, because if I'm going to do 4, say if I'm going to do 4 posts, 3 of them need to be personal and 1 Plexus. So for every 1 Plexus, I'd need to do 3 personal, and that would be 75-25. And so the reason you want to do that is so that you'll have more engagement on all those non-Plexus posts, and then those people that engaged on your non-Plexus post will see your Plexus posts. So let's see. They said questions are good. I really liked this, because I'll do posts where it's just a picture with a question on it sometimes. But they're saying even if it's like one of your personal posts, to be like which dress do you think I should wear? Those kind of posts do really, really well. Where should I go camping, here or here? Those kind of things. And they said use the words should, would, which, and who. Those kind of questions, so that it's an easy answer. You want it to be a quick, easy answer. So, should I do this? Yes. No. Would you do that? Yes, no. So it's a this or that. Do you like this or that? The ones that aren't quite as good, but are still good, but not quite as good as the ones where they have to like write in a answer, you know. It's still good, but those would be how or why questions. So it's preferred that, because the people are spontaneous and they've got short attention spans, so they'll see something, will be like something maybe would be, you know, should we go camping here or here? You know, one or two, one, two. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of things get people to react real quick, and you'll get a lot of engagement, instead of like, where's the perfect place to go camping? Then people have to think, oh, I don't know, and then they'll just scroll right past it. So that's kind of the theory of it. They said, like I said earlier, that they're not even show and post exactly when you post it sometimes, because there's such a backlog. So to make your post evergreen content, and what they mean by evergreen content is that it's still a good post later. So you want it to be something that is lasting. So if somebody a week later sees it, they can comment on it a week later, and it still makes sense. And those are the ones you want on your wall instead of in your story. They said to make it, ideally make it short and original, you know, something, you know, that you came up with, and that's not real long, because people have no, you know, short attention spans. I know I do. Then this is something Debbie is really good at, is keep the engagement going with the comments. And they said this is something that I'm not sure, I didn't know, is you know how we love on our posts? So we always try to like and comment, especially before we, you know, steal it. But it's good to just like and comment anyway on our friends' posts. They were saying the comment should be 4 words long, 4 words. So we need to, you know, that's a new thing. So if you just do a heart or something, it doesn't help the person as much as 4 words. So that was a good tip. Also, it said, if you're posting a lot less, you know, just like a couple of times a day, you can go back and re-engage later. Like say if, like I posted something tonight about Hannah's yoga certificate or something, I can go back to that tomorrow and see if anybody's commented on it and I missed it, and I get and engage with them, you know, and back and forth. And they said the ideal engagement, like say if somebody comments on your post, then the really good thing to do is to ask them a question. So that keeps the conversation going. So if you're saying, if they say, you know, you look beautiful, you say, well, thank you so much. That, you know, that makes me feel great. How are you doing? You know what I mean? And then, oh, I'm doing good, you know, and then you go back and forth, and you may even jump off to Messenger and say, you know, and say, hey, I'll message you. And then, because Messenger, if you message with them, it also helps your score. So if you go back and forth with them 2 or 3 times and then go to Messenger and talk even more, that even helps more, especially if it's somebody, you know, that you think could benefit from the, you know, Plexus and the products, or, you know, or something. Or if they're just your friend, it's good, you know, it's fine. Let's see. They said if a post tanks, you know, sometimes it just does, says it hurts your score. So I need to go back and clean a lot of posts off of mine. But it says if after 72 hours it just really tanked and they didn't get any engagement, just delete it. Just, you know, just delete it. And then it's just like a learning experience about what your friends like to see. And, you know what I mean? Some things are going to work, some things aren't going to work, and it's no big deal. But if something just, you know, completely tanks, just delete it after a day or 2. Let's see. Oh, here's an important one. In the first 15 minutes is when you can get a boost in your score if you have a lot of engagement in the first 15 minutes. And Debbie does a really good job with that, because she is really good about, responding to other people's, and they respond back to her. So it is important in the first 15 minutes. Now, if it doesn't get a bunch of engagement in the first 15 minutes, that doesn't mean it's like terrible, but if it does, that's good. And so one thing I'm really bad about that I'm going to work on is I'm always really busy. I'm like on my way to work, maybe I'm at the red light and I'm like putting a post in. I may not even be online the first 15 minutes. So I totally missed that whole first 15 minutes thing. So I'm going to be a little more intentional about, posting where I can be online at least, and for at least that first 15 minutes to do the interaction, if there's any interaction. Also, y'all all know this, but some of the new folks, make sure your people know, don't share posts, because you're really just advertising for them. Plus, only your friends in common will see the post. So don't share, just, that's always important. Oh, here's a really important one. We love on the posts, and we have our friends, and we love on each other's posts, but that also falls in the 80-20 rule. So make sure that you're at least 80% of your time you're commenting and liking on non-Plexus people's posts, and then 20% of the time on Plexus people's posts. Because what happens is who you're liking and loving and commenting on, that's who's going to see your post, and that's whose post you'll see, but it isn't going to get you any new prospects, if only people seeing it is Plexus. So it's good, and we definitely want to love and on each other's posts, but just be sure that you're going off to people's posts that aren't Plexus, and people that you'd like to share the products with, that would benefit from the products. Try to do that like 80% of the time. So say if we do the 75-25, say for every Plexus one you interact with, try to interact with like 3 others that are not Plexus, friends. And then the next thing is you've got to grow your audience every day. Now, this is where a lot of people, they'll start really strong, and then it starts to taper off because all their friends have already seen everything. And a lot of them are still looking, and they're still thinking about it, so it just slows down. It's not dead, but you definitely want to grow your audience. And so they were saying find, add, and message. And the way I find is I go to the mutual friends, and then there's, if I, have 200 people in common with somebody, mutual friends, I'll just add them. Now, this guy, I haven't been doing this, but I'm going to start doing this. This is some new stuff I hadn't heard before. They say to message them. Well, that's always been like, well, what am I going to say to them, So, I don't know, because most of them aren't, they're just strangers. And what I'll do is I'll add them, and then I never know whether they accepted it or not until I see where they accepted it. And I recommend this. Don't worry about it. Just add them. If they have that many friends in common, they usually will just accept it. But don't get caught up in, I'm going to check and see if they accepted me or not. Just move on. Do you know what I mean? I'll do 5 or 10 every day, like sometimes I'm like, wow, we have 250 people in common. How do I not know this person, So I will do that, and I'll add, and then later on you'll get a notification on there that says that they accepted it, go and say hi or whatever. And this is what I haven't been doing, and I should have been doing, and I'm going to start, is it says message them and tell them why you added them. So that seems, that's, at first I was like, wow, that could be pretty hard. But what you do is you go to their page and you look at it, and one of the women that was the videos I watched, she had a real good way of putting it. She's like, think of it like you're in real life. You're walking into a party with a bunch of strangers. Talk to, this person, or message this person like you would if you were just met somebody. You know what I mean? Not like a crazy person is how she put it, So it'd be like, oh, I saw we had 200 common friends. I thought, for sure we must have some things in common, or just, something like that. So I'm going to start doing that more. I haven't been doing that enough, but I will give you this good news story. A couple of my new ambassadors that I recently got were people that I had just added like that. So, so it works, because they'll start seeing your stuff. Now, if you message them and start interacting with them, then they'll see more of your stuff. So it's definitely worth it. But if you don't have the courage to message them, this is just Lisa talking, add them anyway. And then just do like a wave, or, what I mean? It says somebody just accepted your request, wave at them. Wave, say some little thing like, hi, thanks for accepting my friend request, or something like that. Another thing that was a good tip was, if somebody shares your post, sometimes people will share it, to be sure and thank them that they shared it. Thank you for sharing my post, whether it's Plexus or not Plexus. And then another one is don't leave people hanging. So if they do comment on your posts and they say something, to be sure and comment back, and I'd never really thought of it like that, but if they went to the time to comment, whatever it is, you definitely don't want to leave them hanging. So that's another good reason to interact. Let's see. Then this was just another thing is, always know what your outcome is. Like, why are you posting? Like, what outcome are you looking for? Whenever you're going to post something, and that'll help you craft the post. Try to keep it personal, real, live, vulnerable, honest. And then this is interesting. It said that there's 4 types of people online. There's collectors, there's creators, there's collaborators, and there's contributors. And collectors, those are the ones that aren't very active. They're more the passive ones that are just kind of scrolling through, and maybe they're saving recipes, privately, but they're not really interacting very much. Now, a creator is the one that makes like the original posts. They will make their posts like stories, which is ideal, telling the story of like what they're going through, how they're dealing with something, and sharing. Those are the creators. And that's the ideal. That's what we all want to be, is the creators. Now, the collaborators, they're ones that will like, will like, when we're liking and commenting on other people's posts, we're being a collaborator, and when we're like, when we're congratulating each other for, accomplishments and stuff like that, we're collaborators. So that's really good stuff too. And then contributors, those are ones where they're not really doing anything. They might comment or a little add something. They act more like a fan than a creator. So we want to be a creator and a collaborator. We want to create our own content and be a storyteller and have our own original stuff. And then we want to collaborate with our friends and each other, and boost each other up. So I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see. And then Facebook stories. I did watch a little video on how to do Facebook stories, because all I've been doing is it'll say, do you want to post this to your wall or your story? And I'll say both. And I haven't given it much more thought than that. But I think from now on, I'm gonna be doing more stories and then less higher quality stuff on my wall, the way that it said. It just says be authentic. Even on the Facebook stories, ask questions. It's good to ask questions. It says it's new enough that you'll be one of the first ones to do it, which is always good to be kind of out front. It says don't overthink it, and it's okay to do like 5 of these a day, of the stories. So what they're saying is do the like 2 really, really good ones a day, spread way far apart so you're not competing with yourself. And then you can do 5 or as many as you want, really, of the stories, and they can be the lower quality stuff that maybe that doesn't have anything personal in it or something, and that's fine. And they said just don't think to overthink it. They really encourage videos. Videos have a higher score because Facebook's trying to encourage the whole video thing. Keep them short though, because people get really annoyed, by the long videos. Let's see. There's some more stuff, but it's a lot of the same, just less, higher quality over quantity. And there was one thing that was another thing, this will be the final thing, that was really interesting, is it said what you want to do is you want to answer the questions that your audience, being your friends on Facebook, would be interested in. So they were saying that as far as there's engage, edit, educate, and entertain. For the educate piece, if there's something that you want to educate on, like answer the question, there's this website, and it's called answerthepublic.com. And it's kind of, I haven't used it yet, but I saw him do it online, on a video. And you put in something like he put in printing. And it was like printing in the middle, and then all these questions and this big starburst around it. And it was like why, who, all the who, what, why, and then these questions. So it gives you these ideas of posts. And so like he was doing a business page for printing, and it had how was the printing press invented or something. And that was when he was like, well, that'd make an interesting post about, a printing company doing a post about how was the printing press invented. And then you're adding value and you're educating. And so I'm going to play around with that a little bit, especially like with my, with gut health or blood sugar or yoga or whatever, something maybe I could get some education stuff that way. So, but it's called answerthepublic.com. And you just type in like the one word, and then it gives you all these questions related to that one word. It's pretty cool. But that's all I have. It's kind of a fire hose. Oh, here something just jumped out at me. Videos get 1,800% more engagement. And especially how-to videos. So if we could figure out how to incorporate a how-to video with Plexus, that would be huge. So, but that's a lot, really. I'm going to try to start doing this, kind of experimenting with it, see what works and what doesn't work. So, what do y'all think?
Very good.
Was it? I know it's kind of random because I was looking at a bunch of different videos, so the information was kind of spread out, but a lot of it was the same, so it kind of validated.
I got like 4 pages worth of notes.
Oh, good, good.
And I'm fixing to lose my battery, so it's going to go dead. I'm going to go dead, so I've got to go.
Okay, Patty. Thanks for calling in. Y'all let me know if any of these tips help or anything, you know,
Okay.
or, okay?
Hey, Lisa, let me ask you one thing. You're talking about videos.
Yeah.
Are you talking about live videos or recorded? You don't mean things like a watch party.
Well, they didn't call out specifically what. I think it was more just you being on a live, you being on a video is like it better than just your face on a post, and your face on a post is better than a picture. So it didn't specify, but they call it vlogging, video blogging, VLOG.
Okay.
So, but it's the wave of the future, really. And even on those stories, I'm going to try to get better at those stories too. On those stories, you know, you can put little videos, you can put all kinds of little text, and, you know, get them all dressed up and stuff. I haven't really been doing that, but I have been. Usually if I do a post, I would just make it on my wall and on my story and then just move on.
I need to study up on that, because when I see, you know, somebody added to her story, I look at it, and before I could even look at it good, it zipped by. And
yeah, it's called micro content. It's just a few seconds, and they say that's why that people like it, because you can just look, ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? Instead of you scrolling your news feed, you just click on that, and it's like a little news, you know, video kind of thing.
But, you know, if you've got content, you know, people can't read that content. So you got to make sure that it's in the picture, that you can get
those really long ones. You've got a good point. Those like really long ones with all that information, it'd have to be shortened so that it would fit. Yeah. And then
when I look at it and can kind of start processing, what is this here? It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be something like really short micro content. Now those really long ones would be like educate ones, and those could be ones that are like quality posts, but if you could like incorporate like a personal picture or something in it instead of just like a picture of Slim or something, you know what I mean? It would be a little bit better. But all that information, I consider that educating, you know. Just I'm going to make sure there's no links in it, and I'm going to try to clean the plexus word out of it if I can.
Yeah, now I think I've been doing a pretty good job of that since, who was it that did that video a couple of months ago, or back at the end of the year? A diamond from somewhere, Erin O'Keefe, was it her?
Oh, I think she did do one about posting.
Yeah. And so I've been real careful. And another thing is don't put pictures of product bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't look like an ad.
And also, when you're going to be adding these people, you know, to your Facebook and like making friends, like I wish Patty could have heard this, is I had a lot of people that, besides just these random ads, I had a lot of people for people I meet, you know, like, you know, I meet somebody and we become a Facebook friend. I don't want them to look at it and go, oh, you know, she's just going to try to sell me something. Do you know what I mean? So I like for it to be more, that's like that 80-20 rule, you know what I mean? I wanted them to, you know, get to know me, and then they'll trust me, and then they'll want to know what I'm doing. But if they look at it and it's just like, oh, you know, bleh, you know what I mean? They're going to be like, oh, you know, or if my profile picture is, you know, I don't know, some sort of slim bag or something.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get friend requests like that, and I'm like, oops, paparazzi. And I don't have anything against paparazzi, but I'm like, gee, you know, that's clearly what they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
So we got to be careful that, you know, we don't just like look like, you know.
Did you go to Pensacola this afternoon?
Not today. That the thing for yoga, that was from Sunday.
Okay.
I just now got a
hooray for
chance
Anna.
to, yeah. Those people over there are so nice. Those yoga people. I mean, just like love, love, love. I love you. You know, when the teacher was going through and giving them their certificates, she was just like looking at them. I love you. I'm like, wow, I like this whole like loving community. It's awesome.
That sounds kind of like creepy Uncle Joe, doesn't it?
Oh, she was real sweet. I mean, her teacher.
Joe
I
Biden
wish I could
is
go
too.
to that studio. I wish I'm going to probably do workshops over there sometimes because it's a good one.
Good.
But,
Okay.
well, I hope that I can get some of this stuff, and I'll let y'all know. I did look back at my Facebook, and the ones that have my picture or my kids' pictures or anything more personal absolutely has so much more engagement, you know, or if I ask a question or, you know, something like that, or post about the shark that's offshore, you know, those kind of things get a ton more engagement. So I'm definitely, you know, I think it's definitely on the right track.
Great. Thank you, Lisa. That was real helpful. I've got a lot of notes.
Well, good, good.
Hey, and I love that. I think one of my favorite things is the 4-word long comment.
4 words. Yep. So we can't just heart now. We need to.
Yeah.
And you're good at this, Debbie, but I had not really been doing this. Is the questions. You know what I mean? Like, don't just say, yes, it is really, you know, like if I say, I really love these products, and then say, Debbie, you say, yeah, they really have worked for me, then you need to also add, you know, how did it benefit you? Or, you know what I mean? Or a question, you know, or when did you start taking these products? Or, well, how are you doing today? To just keep that, especially when it's a you know, plexus person and you're trying to get them to talk to you. So I thought that was a good tip. So,
well, thank you, Lisa. That was real helpful.
Yeah, it was fun. So, and I guess I'll let y'all go. And thanks for calling in, ladies. I appreciate it.
Night, night.
Night, night. Let me know if any of these things work.
Oh, well, we'll find out.
That's right. All right.
Proven. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, bye.